Okay, so let's go over this worksheet. So this whole left side here is all just notes and important information. Don't ignore it. You should read this. Treat it like notes, even though it doesn't go on your official notes, like your homework is also your notes. Okay, you should be saving all of these pages and keeping them together in like a binder. Okay, so this is talking about and going over examples on how to simplify these ratios. Let's look at the first one here, 20 students over 24 students. So you guys can clearly see that because the units are the same, they can cancel out. So you can just cancel out students and then reduce the ratio, 20 over 24. Same thing with number 2 here. See, same units. Cancel and reduce. Looks like the same thing with number 3. And it explains that here, right? So you should be reading all of this information here. Don't ignore this stuff. It's there for a reason, okay? Let's move on to the back side here. So now you can see that the units are different. Please make sure, as you can see up here, okay, you need to be using these conversion factors. So let's look at the first one here. 3 feet to 12 inches. Okay, different units. So we're going to multiply by the conversion factor. Make my pen a little smaller here. So we're going to multiply this by, so you can see the conversion factor we want to use right here is feet and inches. 1 foot is 12 inches. So I want the inches to be on top because they are opposite. So 12 inches over 1 foot. And then you can see what units will cancel. And then we're just going to multiply straight across. 3 times 12 is 36. 12 times 1 is 12. And 36 divided by 12 is 3, or 3 over 1. And that is your reduced ratio. If we look at let's do another one of these here. Let's do number 6. So number 6, it looks like we're comparing centimeters and meters. So if I go up here, I can see that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So I'm going to make sure I multiply by 1 meter is 100 centimeters. The units are opposite because we want them to cancel. And then we're just going to multiply straight across. 60 times 1, 60. 1 times 100, 100. And I can divide this by each by 20, right? So 20 over 20, which gives me, what, 3 over 5, right? 60 divided by 20 and 100 divided by 20. And that's my reduced ratio. Just like that, nothing to it. You can go ahead and let me know if you have trouble with 5 or 7. But you're completing those the same exact way. So let's do a couple of these ratios here. I'll do 3 of them. We'll start with number 8. We'll do that one. And then we can do 12, the harder one. And maybe we'll do 10. So when we're solving a proportion here, we want to cross multiply. So 7 times x is 7x, and that's going to be equal to 14 times 4, which is 56. And then I'm going to simply just divide by 7 on both sides. X equals 8. Nothing to it. Next one, number 10. 7 over z equals 10 over 25. We're going to solve this by cross multiplying. 10 times z is equal to 7 times 25. So 10z is equal to 25 times 7 is 175. I'm just going to divide by 10 on both sides now. Z equals, that's going to give me 17.5. And finally, number 12, same thing. 2 fractions that equal each other. It's a proportion. We're going to solve them by setting the cross products equal to one another. 5 times x is 5x, and that's going to be equal to 4 times x plus 3. So I'm going to write that out. And then what we need to do is distribute here. So we have 5x still is equal to 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 3 is 12. Now, we have a variable on both sides of the equal sign, right? So when that's the case, we're going to eliminate one of the sides, right? So I'm just going to subtract 4x here to eliminate that. do it on both sides. 5x minus 4x is 1x, or x equals 12, and there's nothing left to do. There's no dividing on that one because it's already solved for. So x equals 12 there. Let's go down here and look at one of these. So you have an example here, number 13, that goes exactly, over what you would do here. It says the ratio of the width to the length for each rectangle is given. Use proportions to solve each equation. So in number 13, it says if AB to BC is 3 to 8, find the value of x. So first we want to write it. You can see here we have two ratios, right? So I want to write AB over BC, and that's going to be equal to 3 over 8. All right, well, you can see in the diagram that AB is 6. So I'm going to substitute that in for AB right here, right? So that's where you get 6. And then BC is the side we're solving for, x. So I'm going to substitute that in for x. And that's equal to 3 over 8. And then we're just cross-multiplying and solving for x. So let's take a look at 14 here. So 14 says, if the ratio of EF to FG, so here's a ratio, so I'm going to write EF over FG is equals, in math, 4 to 5, 4 over 5, find the value of y. Well, we can clearly see that what? GF here is 40, right? Or FG, same thing, so I'm going to plug that in for there. And then we can clearly see that what? EF is what we're solving for. That's y, so I'm going to plug y in for EF there. So I'm going to say y over 40 is equal to 4 over 5. And this is a proportion, so we will cross multiply. 5 times y is equal to 40 times 4. So 5y, 40 times 4 is 160. And we're just going to divide by 5 on both sides, and it looks like that's going to give you my answer. So 160 divided by 5 is going to be 32, I believe. So y equals 32. So that's how you're working those out. I'll leave the other ones blank so you guys can work on those. But hopefully that should give you enough examples and guided examples for you guys to be able to complete and work through this 7.1 worksheet. Please let me know if you have any questions.